everybody, it's Bree. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video. Now I do want to give a disclaimer for this video. So today my mom decided that she wanted to have the roof redone today, and as you guys know, I only record videos when she's not here. So I'm sorry if you guys hear like banging and stuff throughout the video. I do apologize. That's them working on the roof. But yeah, so this video is going to be about the school system. I feel like the country is, we're having a lot of discussions right now about, funding and like what needs to be changed, not just with this whole Black Lives Matter movement and trying to get rid of systemic, racism and stuff like that, but just in general, like what we basically need to put our money towards, right? And there's been a lot of talk about this with the whole conversation of defunding the police and where that money would go to if we were to take some of that away. And so I think that schools really need the money, because there's just so many things wrong with our education system, and it's crazy that you don't even realize something like that until you're like out of school and you're like older, and then you look back and you say, wow, like the school system is really like messed up right now. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about is the education itself, right? So when I talk about education, I'm talking about public school. I never went to a private school. I don't know how private schools work. If you went to a private school, you can leave in the comments down below if any of these apply to your experience. But for me, I feel like with the public school system, a lot of what we're taught is just, I feel like we're taught in a way that the government wants us to think or wants us to behave. If we can go back to like how school was even started, right? Like the idea of getting up at 7 in the morning, roughly. I know different schools are different with that. Some schools don't start until 8. Some start at 6. But relatively, like at 7, you get up at 7, start school, and then you end school at 3. And basically where that stems from is back in the day when people would like work on farms and stuff like that. That was kind of where that schedule came from. At least that's what I heard and that's what I read, is that that whole system was created based around people working on the farms and stuff like that. And so there's just a lot of things that need to be restructured that we've been doing since the beginning of time. But with the school system, right, and I'm speaking more specifically, I guess, about, okay, so history, right? Like, you're taught certain parts of history. And I noticed that with me, I feel like my educational experience was going through like a transitional period, because I remember learning certain stuff in elementary school that by the time I got to high school, pretty much everything I learned was just threw away. When I was in elementary school, they taught us that, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue and just found America, and the American Indians were invading their land and they had to take it back over. And then you soon find out, the actual history of that, which is Christopher Columbus and everybody else that came over here slaughtered and did horrible things to the Indians to take over their land. And, just little stuff like that. And it's crazy how much the government can, because the government, they kind of like control what you learn and like what textbooks the schools use. And then you have people who write these textbooks and they write it in a certain way. And, I just feel like a lot of what we learn isn't true history. It's just what they want us to know and what narrative they want to paint. Because I don't know about y'all, but in school, from elementary school all the way to high school, well, a little less in high school, because I took AP history where we really dove deep into like actual history. But definitely in elementary school and middle school, it's ingrained in your head that America is like just the best country ever. We have all these freedoms, everything's so great and amazing over here, and the other countries aren't that great. But as you get older, you start to realize that a lot of that stuff is just BS, and you start to realize that, yeah, even though other countries may not have the same freedoms as we do, what works for them works for them. And you know, there's pros and cons to living in different places, and different places have their issues, and but they also have their benefits. So you know, I definitely think that education in itself needs to be a little bit more broader. It needs more of like a worldwide view on things, not just so much a American perspective on everything. And we also need to stop hiding stuff or sugarcoating what really went on in history. And it's crazy because I want to say, I don't know where, but I want to say I just recently saw an article saying that there was a school that wanted to start teaching like LGBTQ history, and I think stuff like that is needed in today's world in 2020. Like, you need those LGBTQ classes, you need African American studies classes, like you need that. Like, you need to you need to teach about everybody's culture, not just America, not just this European view of everything. And oh, and also too, like, I was thankful enough that my school really, I feel like we had like a pretty good amount of electives to take. But a lot of schools, like, they don't have a lot of art classes, they don't have a lot of classes that help you with like your career goals, right? Like, I didn't really get to take a lot of electives that fit what I wanted to do until like later on. You know, like my junior, senior year, especially senior year. Senior year is when I really started to like look at what I was into, or what I thought I was into, and really like test things out. Because I remember at one point I wanted to major in computer science, and luckily my school had a coding class that we could take. What was crazy is that when I took the coding class at my high school, it was brand new. Like, I wasn't even like there before. And, you know, I took a lot of like STEM related courses and stuff like that, but a lot of schools don't have all of that. And so I definitely think that money should go towards funding classes and funding teachers to teach these classes that are based around people's like skill sets and what they're good in and what they want to like practice. Like, we even had like a creative writing class for people who wanted to be authors and stuff like that. So I think we need classes that are actually going to help you in the real world. So I definitely think that that's like an important thing. Also, and I think that everyone can agree with this at this point, that teachers are so underpaid. Now, I don't know the exact salaries. I don't know what my teachers were making, but it's been pretty much said, you know, all throughout this country, that teachers are not paid enough. And the fact that a lot of the stuff that's supplied in the classrooms, the decorations, the tissue boxes, the extra pencils, all of that comes out of pocket. Like, the school's not providing money for that stuff. Like, teachers are usually the ones that are paying for, you know, all of that. And so I definitely think that, you know, if we can, you know, if we can get over this idea that defunding the police is getting rid of the police. Like, no, like, we're saying that there's a lot of like stuff, there's a lot of extra stuff that's going towards these police officers, and these resources could be used in other ways to help schools, to help the community. So I think that whenever that process starts to happen, we definitely need to look into raising these salaries for teachers, because it's just, they really do a lot. Even if you've had sucky teachers in the past, at the end of the day, they do a lot. And I remember, I want to say it was middle school, but it's probably happened a couple times. I've been in classes to where teachers would buy you know, tissue boxes and stuff like that, because you know like how it is in school, everyone's spreading germs, people are getting sick like every single day. And so you have, you know, tissue boxes available. And I had a teacher that literally was like, she didn't want to have to keep buying tissue boxes because people were using tissues like every single day, and we would go through tissue boxes like it was candy. And so she started like offering extra credit to people who would bring in tissue boxes for the class to use. And I'm not saying she did that because she's broke, but it is like clearly the school isn't, you know, paying for tissue boxes to be in classrooms, stuff like that. So, and I do wonder now with COVID and some schools trying to open, I wonder if they're gonna invest in like, you know, some of those like hand sanitizer things, like, you know how you can like kind of hover over it and get the hand sanitizer. Like, I wonder if they're gonna start implementing more little like sanitary things around the school. But yeah, like definitely teachers need to be paid more. Also, I believe that when it comes to bullying, I feel like bullying isn't handled well. And I feel like, and I can't speak for every school, but bullying for sure is a huge issue in the school system. Like, because the way I see people, especially because just speaking from my school, a lot of times, you know, like you get in trouble and you get sent home, you get, you know, out of school suspension and stuff like that, and ISS. But the people that I would see getting suspended and getting put in ISS, a lot of them wanted to be there. Like, it wasn't an actual punishment. They didn't want to be in school. They didn't want to be in class. Like, they enjoyed being kicked out of class. And so I feel like there's so many other effective ways to get through a kid other than just punishing them. Now, at the end of the day, there's going to be some kids that no matter what you do, they are determined to just self-sabotage themselves. They don't want to be there. They don't want to be in school. And there's nothing that you can really do or say to them to make them care. And obviously in those cases, you can't do anything about that. But with most people that I see, when you have like a troubled kid or whatever, sometimes just talking to them or getting them to do stuff with you can like help make an impact. And I think we're losing that. I think we're losing the fact that school is supposed to be not only a safe place, but a place for you to grow and learn. And you know, like, it's just, I don't know, I feel like schools that are too like by the rule book don't really take the time to invest into the kids that go there. Because you know, like, even if you have a kid that's like, I don't know, bad mouthing the teachers or whatever, make them write nice notes to the teacher. Make them have to help clean up the cafeteria after school. Like, I feel like doing stuff like that and having a conversation with them as well to kind of like, you know, implement, like, teach them a lesson, but not just through, oh, you're gonna get kicked out of school. Like, actually work with the kid and talk to them. And the same thing goes for mental health issues. I feel like mental health issues aren't taken as seriously as people try to make it seem that they do. Like with counselors, like, and this joke has been going around on Twitter too as well, that guidance counselors don't really guide you at all. They're really just there to help you finalize your schedule, figure out what you want to do, where you want to go to college, what are your options, they talk to you about AP classes, dual enrollment classes, your SAT, ACTs. Like, it's all strictly just school and what you want to do in life. It's not so much guidance. Like, if you're having a bad day, you don't really go to the guidance counselor because they don't really do much. And I don't want to say that they're not certified or trained in it, but I have yet to see an actual guidance counselor be a safe space for students, because they don't, like, even when I would go in to talk about my schedule with my counselors, never once were they like, so how's school going? Like, is everything going okay? They never asked me that. No. As soon as I sat down to be like, okay, so you have these classes and you need to take these next semester. Like, it wouldn't be like a safe place. So I feel like schools should definitely look into having a mental health professional, whether that's, you know, a actual counselor, a therapist, just somebody. Like, have at least one person that is certified and that focuses on that. Nothing to do with schedules or what you want to do. Have someone there that people can kind of talk to, because also having a therapist is not accessible to everybody. Some people can't afford it. Some people don't have the insurance to cover seeing an actual professional. So to be able to go to a professional at school as your outlet, I feel like could make like a huge difference. Um yeah, and so also I feel like, sorry y'all. I also feel like school doesn't really prepare you for real life. This goes back to, again, like schools not having classes that pertain to your skill set and stuff like that. I feel like, and even because even when I took economics, I was looking forward to learning how to balance a checkbook and how to do taxes. And I learned a little bit of it, but not much. And even home economics, right? Home economics for my school was basically the baby class. It was the class that you would get this fake baby to take care of for like 2 weeks, and it had nothing to do with actual like home economics, like how to take care of yourself, how to do certain things. Like, I feel like there's not enough of that. There's not enough preparation in regards to actually being an adult when you leave for college. Like, or not, but yeah, leave for college, leave high school. Like, what does that look like? Like, there's not really a lot of preparation from that. You're kind of just, when you start college and when you start like actually doing stuff, like, you're kind of just thrown into it. Like, you're just thrown out into the world and you just have to like figure it out. So it would be nice if there were more classes or more ways to kind of prepare students to be more independent. Because I feel like in high school, they make you feel like you have independence in high school, but you really don't. Like, you really don't. And so yeah, those are my thoughts on the school system and what I think needs to be changed. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, what you guys think needs to be changed in the school system. Make sure you guys leave this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.